Live from Gotham City, the show that nobody wants to see, but everyone will watch.
Hello!
Yes, it's streaming with the Nerd Wonder. And now let's welcome our host, the queen of the harem stream, Nerd Wonder!
Christ, man, calm down. It's fucking 9 at night.
Well, you know, this is the calm down stream. This is what we're all here to do. Calm your tits, everybody. You're not in a giant fire, even though it seems like it. And yes, there is smoke. There's a lot of situations going on that everybody's been freaking out about. And no, I'm not talking about IDW or Image, though we will talk about those. But right now, the main issue is that an article did come on up where we have a situation where Brian Michael Bendis did an article. And Devil, you did actually we should introduce ourselves, shouldn't we?
Probably.
Okay, everybody knows who I am because that's why they all came in. They were like, "You doing something?" Okay.
Yep. Nightwolf is here. I know some people know this. It's like, he's here. That's right. I'm here. How are you doing?
And I guess you're admin of the stream. You probably should go first. I'll go last.
It's me, Morrow. I'm around still occasionally. And I'm coming live to you with Facecam today.
Hooray!
Yay! I was thinking about doing the same, but I decided, screw it.
I don't really care. There's pictures of me everywhere.
What's happening, Hornheads? Once again, live to piss everyone off from Nerd Wonder's stream. It's the Devil's Due.
Hello. And we may have some other, we're just waiting on somebody else to come on later. Quillsniff will be joining the stream in a little bit. He has confirmed that. And you never know, maybe somebody else will come on. But
it'll be a rotating cast of God knows who.
Yeah, but we're not, I'm sorry. A lot of people did ask to get on the stream, but I had to cap out because we all know what happened the first time I got giddy and got my stream back. Okay, we can't do that.
Yeah, we know.
Can't do it. Cannot do it.
No. But right now we are talking about, there was an article that was posted about Brian Michael Bendis joining DC, and it's caused people into utter panic, and for good reasons, because everybody pretty much knows who Bendis is, right?
Yep. Are we sensing more red flags? Should I?
Oh, hey, I think someone well joined.
Yeah, it's your boy.
Right on time. We're about to talk about why you and Devils 2 were freaking out this morning.
Yeah, because Bendis, you know, Bendis, the comic book writer. Yeah, Bendis.
Yeah.
No, here's a gimmick. Here's a gimmick. We should do the entire.
I guess, I mean.
Here's a gimmick. What we should do is we should spend the entire stream talking in Bendis speak.
That's gonna take forever and several dialogue boxes. No,
I don't even know how to speak his language.
You know, Bendis speak? Yeah, Bendis speak. You know, the dialect that Brian Michael Bendis uses in his comics. Comic books?
All the women, that one of them have to be sarcastic and all of them have to be inept.
In other words, he uses it how people in films talk on the phone, where you obviously know they're repeating things, where it's like, what? What did you say? A fire in the Alpines? That's incredible. How did you get there? By car? And then it's like, you know, on the other side, if this was in real life, you'd be super freaking pissed off. It's like, yes, I just told you this.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women have to be sarcastic. I am holier than thou.
You want to know what's actually kind of funny? That my mom does that to me sometimes. It's like, I know. It's like, you don't need to repeat it 5 times. I got it the first time. This is the second one.
Maybe a mom thing. I don't know. Dang, I got a lot of people watching. How do people watch me? You put up. But yeah,
keep that humble attitude. It'll keep you grounded.
Thank you. But there were some issues that were brought to light that apparently Bendis was in a review, as you guys told me, and he said shit in there that caused stirs, and you guys suspected that he's going to divorce Superman and Lois Lane?
I guess since I put out a video like about, I don't know, a couple hours ago about it, so I guess I'll reiterate what I said there. If you guys want to check out my channel, I'm The Devil's Due. You can see it there. The short version, though, is that there was a line of dialogue that he said is that because his story involves Lois, like, you know, it basically is going to reiterate what they're doing on the TV show Krypton, the idea that in every part of the multiverse, the only reason Krypton blew up was to create Superman. And this idea of exploring the themes of predestination versus free will, that's going to basically cause Lois and Clark to say, well, what we loved each other, it was real, but I don't know if, you know, because it was forced upon us, I don't know if I can be with you. And that's basically what he's trying to get at. It's like he's saying, but sometimes you have to be true to yourself. And apparently to him, being true to yourself means get the fuck away from Lois.
I think in reality, I think what he means by be true to yourself is, well, this is why I think it's going to be okay. Obviously, he comes from Marvel. So number one thing that we know, which is notorious with every single writer, especially Dan Slott, they will bait us and trap us. It's a trick. And you want to know what's really going to happen? I think what he's trying to say is, as he said, that the reason that Superman, it was all done to create Superman. So, in other words, the world is trying to tell him you can't be with this person and everything. Though he questions, they're going to question their love life. And the better question is, if the world wants you to be Superman, why am I here if I'm going to hold you back? Obviously, he's going to do what he wants to do, which is, I would cast away myself being Superman for Lois Lane. And I think that's what he's going to do. Because
I mean,
out of everyone,
we're also going to get like a shit ton of decompression.
Yeah,
let's piggyback on that, nerd. Let's piggyback on that. Let's say you're right. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that he will cast off the idea of being Superman. That actually brings up another point in the article that I brought up. The idea that apparently Dan DiDio, let's be real, guys. Dan DiDio is the reason the New 52 even existed in the first place. He is the guy who almost single-handedly ran DC into the ground before Rebirth, to the point that Jim Lee and Jeff Johns had to go out to comic book, like, you know, LCS guys, on a press tour to literally apologize to every single comic book store they went to, but just to peddle Rebirth. And then, of course, Jeff Johns in Rebirth took stabs at DiDio. DiDio is the reason DC nearly head nosedived into the ground in the first place. So what does he do? Let me finish. Dan DiDio also apparently gave him a microscopic list of do's and don'ts, as in don'ts. And apparently now Bendis made a joke saying, I bet all those fans are just going to think I'm just going to replace Superman with whatever like I did at Marvel. And unironically, DiDio says to him, is that what you want to do? And then Bendis looks back and goes, that's an opportunity I can't pass up. Which means that if Nerd is right, let's say Nerd is correct, for the sake of argument, that he gives up being Superman just so he can be with Lois, start the timer on how long until we get a friggin' black gay transgender taking over as the Man of Steel.
Well, we do have a black Superman already.
I think it's meant to be a joke, and he's trying to scare or aggravate readers because he thinks it brings it back. Like I said, Marvel believes anger brings readers, but in reality, it has upset readers to the point they will drop the book. And Dan DiDio, he understands he fucked up royally. He knows he fucked up so hard, he almost killed his company. And the only reason he is alive is thanks to his 2 golden children who are still with the company. And my God, is he going to try his best to keep everything afloat. And you know, if he fucks up Superman, they will lynch him. Because all he's been brought up for, it has been revealed throughout other talks and so forth. Obviously, Bendis is only brought up here because they want Superman to be the high-tier writing story like Batman. Because let's face it, Superman's been around longer than Spider-Man, and back in the day, he used to sell like thousands. He was like the most popular superhero. They want people to know what this Superman is like, again, and enjoy his books. So they brought on Bendis in hopes of getting a little bit of that hype. Obviously, they don't get it. He doesn't bring up the hype, but he can talk and so forth, and the media praises him. The media praises him, which is what they need.
Well, I don't mind. Hope I don't interject too much here, but I remember on Bendis's Twitter account, he used to, joke about, being the destroyer of childhood. let's just keep that in mind. He does have a sense of humor, and there is a possibility he could just be toying with people.
He loves toying with people, and
and it's the Marvel mentality of toying with people.
He is the only one, and let's face it, out of everybody in Marvel, he is the only one that supports marriages in Marvel. He was the one that was trying to push Kitty Pryde with Star-Lord, and I believe mostly because he was sick and tired of her being single, and he wanted a romance that actually stuck around.
Well, no, he just waifus Kitty Pryde. This is an established fact.
Let's be honest.
But who doesn't want to wife Kitty Pryde though?
Me. Now that she has like that short ass haircut.
I think she's still good looking.
And he went on a tirade apparently.
Her Iceman gay.
Okay, no, yeah, he did. But hear me out. That was probably editorial, because let's face it, we all know Marvel's editorial takes more command than anything else. And you can tell when he likes something.
Bendis's X-Men run in general was just garbage.
He hates X-Men. We already know that. He obviously was stuck on the book. And does it look like that guy was happy over there? Like, only one book he seemed to enjoy, which was the Doctor Doom Iron Man. And so they're making, everybody knows this. The editorial is pretty much the ones that tell, I want this story, you go write it. You get all the credit, but we all know I made it up. And that is literally how most of these things are getting done. And this has been confirmed by several people in the industry. So I bet he was sick and fucking tired of doing this bullshit and just left, because he used to be able to make stuff. He made Jessica Jones, he made Luke Cage, and you want to know what also must piss him off? He gets jack shit royalties on the Jessica Jones show. Nothing.
Well, I'm gonna interject, and yeah, you're kind of right that he had a big part in Luke Cage, but he didn't really create him. He was more into revitalizing Luke Cage. The reason the Netflix series got made is because Bendis reinterpreted Luke Cage.
Yeah, for the new Avengers, which is nice. But
but then the thing is, the problem is that every time we try to debunk something, he then sticks his foot in his mouth again. It's like, because
he may, but hear me out. As I said beforehand, but this is why I also support him, because he likes marriages. He does. I mean, he was when One More Day happened, he was the one that went ape shit. Like he was fucking pissed.
I don't trust him.
But yeah, you don't need to trust him. But here's the other thing. Here's the other reason I think it may be okay. Number one, DC, they don't go total SJW. They're like, never again. They will have to put in SJW books, but the higher tier books, they want to keep away from any of these crazy, wonky politics of wacky Marvelness, because they know Marvel is dying. They literally have been into talks where all the people that go to their questionnaires are laughing at Marvel, and they're like, we really feel bad. And
I'll give them credit for that. Their social justice crap is kind of contained to like 2 books. Batgirl definitely, but
we see that. But then he says in the same article amazing things like, here we go. We live now in a nation where doctors destroy health, lawyers destroy justice, governments destroy freedom, and our banks destroy the economy. You scratch the surface of the survivalist cult in the United States, and you expose terrified white supremacists. Lies are considered truth. Truth is considered seditious. Unironically.
Okay, well, hear me out. I don't know how much we could take into consideration if that's a joke or a lie or whatever, because this is paper, this is Bendis. All of them are fucking liars at Marvel. All of them. And he has a silver tongue. We already know this, because he literally says whatever when he knows he can get people to read books and so forth. He's done this before. He'll do it again. It is a Marvel mentality, is to fucking be the silver tongue fox. And here's the reason I think it may be okay. Literally.
I think Nerd died.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
No.
The stream is still going. It says we're still live, so.
Oh yeah, we're still live, but damn.
I'll put in like my main argument that I'm cautiously optimistic about Bendis coming on to Superman, because he has written good stuff in the past.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have a dose of pessimism in there, just because after several years of Bendis ruining the Avengers and the X-Men and really only succeeding on a handful of titles in comparison to all of his other works, there's a reason that people are are skeptical of Bendis doing a good job on Superman.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I
actually didn't even finish what I said about that. Like he says, and then he says things like this. He says the attacks on the rights and beliefs of Muslims, Jews, immigrants, gays, lesbians, women, trans, and non-binary people are an attack on all of us, on our values, our freedoms, and ultimately our democracy. Tolerance is a virtue. Tolerance covered with past. It's like, shut up, dude.
Yeah, but that's just like basic far left talking points. It's not. It's kind of trite at this point. It doesn't really have anything.
I mean, honestly, if he just rephrased what he said, he might as well have just said, "Don't be a fucking douche." Like that's about it. But I mean, my whole take on this is whenever a new writer gets put on something else, I try it out. Like with Marvel rearranging a lot of their talent, I'll check out some of the new #1s just to see how they are. Like,
yeah, like as much as I. Oh, sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
Bendis coming over to Superman. I'll check it out because the thing that a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people always say a shit writer is a shit writer. That's not really true when it comes to comics because if you put a creator on something they like, they'll tend to do a good job with it usually, or they'll do the best that they feel they're doing. But if you give someone something that they don't want to do or that they don't like or that they don't understand, you're going to get shit. And that seems to happen a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem with editorial for a lot of companies is that they put the wrong people on the wrong books.
Exactly.
I mean, one of the biggest problems people have with Marvel is like a lot of the young adult novelists and whatnot being put in and being brought in. And it's like, that's kind of the problem. You're putting them on books. Like we have the new person taking over for the X-23 book. The problem is that it's not that their politics don't deserve to have a voice in the comic book industry. The problem is that you're putting them on books that they are not qualified to work on,
and it's
or that they have no genuine interest in doing.
It's not just the politics either. It's also the presentation of the politics. Because the constant defense of people like this is that but they've always been political. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, you forget the context of when those books were coming out and in retrospect, what those books are about. Example, X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills, which is a very politically charged kind of concept that talks about racism versus, and the church and all other stuff, except that never got in the way of the characters, and they weren't basically saying, this is, it's like, this is objectively bad, but just because you have these beliefs and values, example, Nightcrawler was a Catholic himself. Just because you have these values, it doesn't make you bad. It's just how you choose to act on them. The problem is that in current year, they basically say if you are a white, straight, male, Christian, whatever, you are a bad guy.
I don't want to. I'm not looking to get into all that because I've never someone who likes to talk about that stuff because I've always felt. And this is how I've always felt on it. Any medium, any person who you are, if you look at someone who is a racist or a bigot and just go, oh, well, they'll always be that way. You need to realize that a lot of racism and bigotry is based off of ignorance. And ignorance is because someone doesn't know something or hasn't learned something. If you're not willing to at least try and teach someone something, then you're no better than them. That's how I feel. If you want to consider yourself a better person than someone, then you should be willing to try and teach someone. If you want to uphold these values and you know someone who doesn't, and it's just like a general thing of like, oh, don't be a douche. Like these people are like the whole stuff with like not wanting gay parents to like be able to adopt kids. Like that's bigotry right there. That's just how it is. If you ask me personally, I think that's a bit of bigotry right there because it clearly is. It's just so you try and teach these people. You have to. Ignorance and lack of experience is what causes racism and bigotry. And if you aren't willing to help people, then you're not being anything. So when I see these superheroes in comics just kind of write people off and not try and help them like a hero does, then I think you're writing the character wrong. It depends on the character, though. Some characters are written like that on purpose, but some
like
should not be like that. Yeah, like you have characters that just beat the shit out of people because they don't want to listen. But people like Superman,
you have characters who have belief systems that are different from one another.
Exactly.
Like, Nightcrawler is Catholic. Green Arrow is a very strong liberal.
Exactly. But they're still willing to try and help people. Like Superman and Batman are like characters that try and help everyone, no matter who they are, and they try and teach them. And like we've seen stuff like that happen. Superman has even tried to.
What's up?
Superman tries to reach out to Lex Luthor.
There is a fundamental difference between trying to teach them and lecturing. That's the major difference.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You need to be able to have a balance, I'd say. So,
Yeah, like that's kind of, I think, and that's the problem, is that DC with Rebirth was doing that. They were, whenever they did, like, I think one or two exceptions, whenever the main titles dipped into politics, they tried to stay above it. They tried to say, yes, this is what people do, but you don't have to sink to that. I think a good example was that 4th of July one, the one where Superman and John and Lois, they went on a cross-country tour, because this is a Superman-themed thread. I think we should mention that. And they're talking about American history and the values. And then, of course, they run into that the bumper sticker with the coexist sign about Christians, Jews, Muslims. It's like, we can all get along. It's perfectly true. We can. And that is the idea of what Superman represents. The problem is that when the writer decides, no, that is not what the character represents, he should only represent this specific section of people, then you look at that and go, you don't understand Superman. And that's what I personally feel when I read this article and what Bendis has said, reading his exact quotes. I look at that and go, you don't understand what Superman is all about, dude. You do come from a Marvel background. Every character in Marvel has a sense of relativism, that they have flaws, they screw up, they have bad days, they have good days. I get that. I do. Especially when you've been writing Daredevil and street level characters for decades. I get it. But if you're going to jump balls first into the Man of Steel, you have to check whatever experience you've learned at Marvel at the door, because it is a whole new world when you're coming to DC, where characters like Superman are above that.
Well,
they are way above that.
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that Bendis's writing style doesn't have a place in the DCU. That's kind of ignorant to say, because there are characters that he could write that would totally benefit from his writing style, like the Question.
Oh my God, the Question would be perfect. But hear me out. This is why what I was trying to say before I was completely dead is, he fucks up here, DC will show him the door. They may not show it immediately, but they will move him onto a certain book and kick him out, and he can't go back to the big two if he fucks up. This is a dangerous game, but it is because of his passion that he wants to try. And dear God, if he fucks up, let's face it, over at DC, they have editors that actually do their job. They're going to give him the highest end editor to cram into him. Fuck you, you got to rewrite this. Fuck you, you're going to rewrite this. What are you doing? Making this just some SJW bullshit. You ain't at Marvel now, bitch. You're with the big boys.
Well,
you're writing Superman, but yeah.
But then again, the same company that kept for
because they will kick him. They will kick him out if he fucking screws up. They'll throw him into DC Black, which I think is the pit from Dark Knight 3, where they throw all these crazy writers with insanity and weird mental problems and just off the walls, and they chuck them into this pit and see whoever climbs out, which tends to be, they want to find the next Dark Knight, they want to find the next Watchman, so they chuck them all into this pit. Yeah, they're like, rise, and whoever gets out.
If I take off your mask, will it kill you? It would be extremely painful.
Oh my God,
you're a big guy. Who are you?
I mean, I had thought that Bendis would be good on a book like Blue Beetle with Jaime Reyes, because I feel he does well with younger heroes as well. So I would have thought that would have been interesting, but I mean, they canceled that book already, so yeah.
Even Miles' run isn't like that bad. It just doesn't go anywhere. That's the problem people have with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Miles Morales is Peter Parker 2.0, except I say this in my video too, is that my problem is that he plays with Miles with the kiddiest of kid gloves, because he deifies people like that. He doesn't want to fully expose that these characters can not only screw up, but that other people can look at them and go, "You're an asshole." Like,
you know what? That's why they won't let him write Superman from Earth 2, because he would fuck that shit up so fast.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens if he writes Power Girl.
We should just bring back Elseworlds and What Ifs.
They are. That's what DC Dark is pretty much. DC Dark is going to be their Elseworld shit, and they're just like going to chuck crazy people in there and see if they can do anything.
Yeah, that's where they relegated Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see this young adult stuff they're doing.
Because obviously they're just throwing all the crazy racists and mental and nightmarish people, and they're chucking them in there and saying, well, it worked the last time. We did get like Watchmen and Dark Knight and a few others. Maybe they can make something. And you can just hear them hissing and snarling and eating each other. It's like, is this a good idea? Yeah, it's a good idea, you know.
It's like the dog in the burning building. This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Marvel all around, except I think it's Titanic. It's really the Titanic instead. So instead of it being all on fire, it's water and it's pouring in. And
you have Zardsky and Charles Soule standing next to each other going, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing with you. They pull out their violins, na, 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 and they're just playing until they fall into the
fiction writers. Everybody else, like, they're gonna be like, it's Marvel's unsinkable! And we're all gonna
God himself cannot sink this comic book company. 2016 rolls around. Oh, fuck.
The game.
Don shoving, oh, really?
It's really like Spike did that video, and his title card was pretty much Sunny in Philadelphia. The Marvel gang hires editors through Craigslist.
Honestly, I won't lie. If I had a bachelor's in English, I would have applied.
Is Yellow Flash?
I mean, technically,
Dude, you can get in because you are so evenly based, and if they find out that you've interacted, you could be like, well, I need to understand what their side is. Maybe with my abilities, I can be able to tempt them over.
I don't even think they'll look at the application without the bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
They will look at the application because you're a man.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think honestly, like, we make our jokes, but they really won't look at it unless you have a bachelor's degree. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
Do you really think? Does that mean you guys think I really have a chance to get in there?
Do you have a bachelor's in English?
I have a bachelor's and a minor and an associate's in 2 different subjects, but not in English. No,
you need one in English. That's what it was asking for.
Wait, for writing positions or
right?
No, for editor.
Ah, damn it! Because I'm going for my bachelor's in communication.
Oh, right. Here we go. No. Let me explain this. This is how the business works. This is how most businesses work. It's a trick. They want to see who has the real guts. You see, they're going to get plenty of people. So usually, a business will always put highly overqualifications, like too high. Like, you must have graduated last year, but have like 4 years of experience. It's bullshit to see who has the guts to still go in and apply.
That's true.
That is what they're doing. Of course, they're trying to find out who's retarded enough to beg for slave labor for cheap. But hey,
you know what? I'd probably pay more than what I'm currently getting. So.
Definitely.
I self-published my first book.
Mara, you would be amazing over there. You should try. Do it. Check out if you can make it.
I mean, I am a bit of like, I think I'd be decent as like an editor when it comes to continuity stuff because I'm a continuity junkie. I always say, I read the TF wiki for fun. That's what I do in my free time when I'm bored. I read it for fun.
That would be somebody like that.
So, but I mean, maybe it just has like a, oh well, I mean, got nothing else to lose, so
yeah,
do it.
I mean, I would if I didn't have to move to New York to do it.
I mean, I live in Connecticut.
What they think.
I mean, I live in Connecticut and I have family in New Jersey that are like an hour from the city. So, I mean, if I really had to, I could either A, stay here or B, move down to my family in Jersey and commute every day. I mean, that wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. It's just, you have to take Holland Tunnel, which I hear is a nightmare.
Where is it in the city?
Where, Marvel?
Yeah.
Somewhere like smack in the middle of downtown Manhattan.
Yeah, you'd have to take the Holland Tunnel.
It's like, if you think about it, it's like, apparently though, who did it? It was a Yellow Flash or somebody did it. I cannot tell you. But someone did a comparison chart. If they're in this chat, please say it. Please announce yourself. They actually did this comparison chart of what employees were saying about working at Marvel and then what they were saying about DC. And apparently working at Marvel, you get a laptop that's at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old at minimum, maybe, and one of them in one case got porn on it. And the editors are literally just like the smell of their own farts. And insult and diss
Yeah,
each
that was
other.
Umbrella Guy. Yeah.
That was Umbrella. He was
What's
listening.
Umbrella? There we go.
He was reading Glassdoor reviews, and that's usually where everybody tells you to go. Like I even like when you go to art school and stuff, it was like, dude, you don't want to go working for there. You got to check out their Glassdoor reviews. So I'm like, what? And then I'd go over, I'm like, holy shit, these guys are gonna screw us over. It's like, is it legit? He goes, yeah, just like scroll down. You'll usually find the trick ones and stuff. And then I would check out Marvel. And I'm like, oh.
I put it like this: you gotta start. It's awful to say, but sometimes you just gotta start in the shit pile to get to reach your way to the top.
Exactly, and you want to know what? If you manage to get in and sneak your way through, you may be able to be king of Marvel, and then we could all.
What was it? I think after you said I should. I think after you said something about me writing Spider-Man after like you read that Mary Jane thing I wrote, and I think I sent you that GIF of Green Ranger going, "Now I'm gonna rule this world." Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And I was thinking of also like jokingly sending in one of those tapes for the open audition for the new Blue's Clues.
Oh my god, do it!
I have a few friends that have done it. I have a few friends that have actually done it.
Well, I mean, part of it is John Cena, so.
Oh, exactly. John Cena did it. Oh my god! Imagine turning on the TV and it's like, "Hey guys, John here, and I'm here with Blue today." Like,
it's like the most overtly muscular man on the
find him because how can we see him? Nobody can see him.
He's just like walking around like, "What are the clues, Blue?"
I can just imagine that, like, just the most overtly muscular man of all time, just walking
the Undertaker
into a cartoon house.
No. The Great Khali.
Guys, you're re-envisioning my desire for the new Shazam movie. I wanted John Cena to be it so we could have had the epic Rock, and then we could have just had WWE people acting out all the characters in that film.
Honestly, I would buy a ticket for that. Like, honestly, it's like, dude.
They missed out. Undertaker could have been the Wizard of Shazam.
I actually, believe it or not, I actually am a trained pro wrestler. I actually trained at Squared Circle for a couple of years. Did a couple of gigs in the Indies, and before I gave it up because politics. So like me as a diehard, I look at that and go, oh god, how many like you would start a counter if it is John Cena, Shazam, and The Rock. It's like how many spots do you think they're actually gonna do? It's like, oh, he's doing it up, super hip toss, building blows up. Because because here's a wrestling trope. Here's a little tip. If you are ever in doubt of what you need to do in a match, give them a hip toss.
Oh wait, it's not a necessary education, it's a preferred education. If I'm looking at the right one, I'm trying to find that editor position right now. They might have taken it down.
You know what would be like the best? Like
if anyone has a link to it, let me know.
Oh, if we got Michael B. Jordan, or not Michael B. Jordan, what's his name? We need a Space Jam superhero sequel.
Oh my god.
That would be great. Like cast all of the people who were live action as just superheroes.
Imagine a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but using the Marvel and DC characters.
I don't know if that would really work as well, just because they don't treat violence as cartoonishly as they do with cartoons.
But I still think
I'm actually backtracking a little bit. I just realized something. Because he said, say my name, Billy. It's like, oh god, I just realized that there's a promo that The Rock cut back in like '99, I think, when he's cutting the promo on Billy Gunn, and it just dawned on me. It's like, oh god, the memes you can make out of this. Where it's like literally Shazam shows up, he's standing right in front of Billy Batson. Bob? No, mine is. It doesn't matter what your name is.
My name is Jeff.
It's actually a promo that he cut on Billy Gunn where he goes, where the heavens part, and God himself says, Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is. Like, oh god, that's a meme.
If they have a link to that editor position, because I can't find it.
I mean, I live in Cowboy State, and I'm still in college, so...
Oh, and there goes
I dropped out of college.
And Nerd Wonder will hold the fort till she gets back.
Oh, did she drop out again?
I think so.
Oh darn!
Our internet is not playing nice today.
But anyways, I'm with Mar on the whole Marvel Fresh Start. I'm gonna check out a couple of these new number ones. Like I know people don't like.
A couple of them are gonna be free.
I mean, I know people don't like Nick Spencer, but I'm willing to check out the Free Comic Book Day issue and the #1 just because this is a completely new creative team here. We've got the guy who wrote Superior Foes and the guy who drew most of Invincible. This is looking to be a pretty good creative team, and I know Nerd's going to shoot. Nerd is going to shoot me for this, but I'm actually kind of optimistic about it.
Oh darn! They took down the job listing.
Oh damn!
Maybe they already filled it.
They do have a new media one, which does stuff on the website apparently. News articles, character content, media related content.
Okay, that needs an update. That stuff needs to be updated. Like I was just on there today, and half of the character selections are like.
I mean, the basic qualifications are intimate knowledge of the Marvel brand, its characters, and its history, knowledge and expertise in web-based publishing and content creation tools, experience with audio and video-based content, and comfortable with being on-air talent in both audio and video.
Fuck, anyone can do this.
Experience of working with a distributed team in multiple locations, as well as working with remote freelancers, and ability to multitask and work on a number of projects at once. And it says preferred education is a degree in communications, marketing, or English.
I could actually do
a degree in communication would take me like a year and a half at college if I really wanted to go back and get one, and it wouldn't be many classes. So, I mean, I could easily apply for it because I do all those things already, essentially. Like, I have videos that have my face in them, and I do audio stuff. I know stuff about Marvel. Like,
there's an inventory internship.
I've done projects like that before and stuff. Yeah, but internships you need to be to college for, so.
Dude, if I wasn't in crippling debt, I would definitely put my money going back to college for marketing and communication. Just get that and
just go to community college.
Well, yeah, it's like, but the problem is, it still costs you like $3,000 that I don't have off the top of my head.
Yeah, still costs money. Not as much.
You could apply for the administrative assistant.
That's not even counting like the rent in Jersey or in New York.
That's true. I mean, I'll probably be like, hey, Dad, let me room with you for like a little bit. And then they need a video editor if anyone does video editing.
Oh, I do video editing.
Yeah, they have.
Where is this? Send me a link.
I mean, if you just search, I searched up editor job Marvel, and then it brings up like the Disney career stuff for them.
Oh, yeah. But anyways, we actually have lost control. To quote Mark Waid, we've lost control of the narrative.
Have we?
Did he literally say that?
Yeah, well, it is comic book champions. He literally because they're getting their asses beat by his Republican champions, and Miss Marvel literally belts out, "I've lost control of the narrative."
And that is so
what grade A banter! What grade A banter from Mark?
Gosh,
it doesn't even like
with that series.
It doesn't even ask for prior experience.
I mean, Nerd and I made this joke that Mark Waid is Marvel's "How Do You Do, Fellow Kids?"
Yeah,
that series is literally like his magnum opus of "How Do You Do, Fellow Kids?" Like, it tries so hard to be woke as fuck, but then it just falls flat on its face when you realize, wait a minute, this is like the whitest dude ever writing this series,
and one of the oldest writers too.
Creeped out by this because obviously the only people that think so woke are like 29-year-olds that are whatever with their lattes and shit. Like, teenagers are just all like, I really don't know what to freaking do.
Okay, to be fair, Wade does have a point because I go to college and some of these kids actually do act like this, unfortunately. So
yeah, in college, this is teenagers, and I don't think I've seen. I mean, I hear about it, but I've seen a lot more normal. What?
Nerd, you want to know the irony? Is that what I make that joke, but the worst part is that people in my age group, I live in Canada, and it's particularly in the Toronto area. Toronto is the most leftist fucking place you will ever see. That actually says something, considering there's Portland, there's New York, there's everywhere else. Toronto says, hold my fucking beer. Well, especially in the cosplay community. The cosplay community is so left-wing and so, oh, I like these characters. Do you buy the books? No.
I mean that's how the cosplay community mostly is. But like the whole thing with like, oh, I like these characters but not the books. You can't gatekeep, man. Like gatekeeping is dumb, especially if it's not like, you should only gatekeep on toxic people. Like I like Mega Man. I like the story of Mega Man. but I've never completed a single fucking game for Mega Man. I'll
Yeah,
be real. Like, I've never. I like the story of Sonic as well. I've never been in a Sonic game. Like, I like those stories. I've read some of the comics for them. I enjoy that stuff. Yeah. But if someone asks me anything about the games, all I could tell you is they're platformers in some way, shape, or form.
It's like me with I haven't fully read all of Superman and so forth. I'm just getting into it, but or Spider-Man. Like I talked a lot about Spider-Man, and I'm very passionate about certain books, but I haven't read all of it. Actually, I am getting pretty close.
Well,
but,
yeah, I get and I understand that completely. Like, just because not everyone is like me who literally has a near encyclopedic knowledge of just about like everything in comic books, and I get that. But at the same time, it's not just the amount. It's not even about the gatekeeping. It's the fact that that these people are more interested in Overwatch. They're more interested in like everything except the thing. They're just doing it because it looks cool. It'll get them good images. And the problem is I know a lot of gorgeous women in the cosplay community who are geeky people. But when you actually speak to them, like I do in the day-to-day basis, they're more concerned with, like sharing dank memes and getting drunk off their asses. They're more concerned with like that kind of shit. And when you actually, get them on their knowledge, they're more concerned with Overwatch, Harry Potter, and not westernized comic books. It's like, yes,
you just gotta let people like what they like, though. Like, some people just dress as stuff because they like the design, which is perfectly fine. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know shit about Carnage, but I cosplayed as Carnage for Kineticon because I liked the design and I was able to body paint myself. Like,
I think my problem is like normie culture, like the ones who think they know everything just because they have a costume with the character.
I mean, that's different. That's different. That's different.
Many of the people in my community, what they know is off of a wiki search.
Yeah, but it's kind of like
it's more than a lot of people, though.
It's not only the comics community; it's been doing in the gamer community for years. Like, I used to be like really heavy into games while I was in college, and you would meet people that are like, I would talk to somebody and be like, "What's your favorite?" Like, we would talk about Final Fantasy. Like, oh, Final Fantasy, my favorite series. My favorite one is 7. I'm like, oh, really? I hear they're doing a remake, but I don't know if I really want a remake because the first one, the original, is just really good and nostalgic. Some people think that it'll ruin the historical value. What do you think? It goes, I want it so I want it to go to the PS3 so I can finally play it. And I sat there just staring at them. And I went, what do you mean? I thought you said it was your favorite. He goes, yeah, I watched Advent Children. And I inside my head because that was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. Like, and I met these people. There's so many people that believe they're gamers. I have other people that are like, I'm a gamer. And it's like, oh, cool. What kind of games do you play? Madden. What else? Like,
I play Dragon.
I'm like, fuck you.
It's like I play Dragon Age and pretty much like 4 or 5 MMOs, but they're all based on big IP: Star Wars, Star Trek, DC. I don't consider myself a gamer, even if I grind the shit out of MMOs. I still.
You play Star Trek Online, my boy?
I do.
Oh, hell yeah, my boy!
My man, 3D print your ship now, my man.
Wait, you can do that? Did they actually?
Oh yeah, it just released today. Just today.
Oh hell yeah!
It's expensive fuck. It is expensive.
When it comes to certain stuff, you should only really gatekeep to keep toxic people out. That's how it should be.
That should be the real thing. Because let's face it, we're gonna have a big issue because it's happened with gamers and comics or whatever, where people are like, "You all like, we should immediately gatekeep." When a bunch of people come in accusing this all being of sexism, and then we have to turn around and say, "Get out!" Because
as someone who's very involved in the Dragon Ball community, more behind the scenes than really on the scenes, I talk to a lot of people in it. You meet a lot of people that go, and honestly, like, I've said shit about these people publicly too. Like, these people that are like, "Oh, you have to watch the subs over the dubs, otherwise you're not a real fan." It's like, don't gatekeep like that. Like, just because you want to be a weeaboo doesn't mean
those fuckers. Nobody listens to them because they're.
Oh yeah, that's why no one. Honestly, like, I hear he's a good guy, but like that's why no one really. That's why not a lot of people noticed when Super Jane stopped doing YouTube videos. To be honest, I don't think like most people didn't really notice, to be honest, because he didn't get that big because he just kept complaining that like people don't like the subs or whatever the fuck. It's like that's just how it is. It's like I get a little
in my family because Goku's voice has sounded like a little kid since his day one Dragon Ball premiere, and I know it's like a famous voice actress, but at the same time, to us, it's like so weird.
I mean, I will admit, I get a little heated when people go, "Oh, Masako Nozawa doesn't like need to be Goku or whatever because she sounds like a girl or whatever." It's like, yeah, but like. Voice acting over there works differently than it is here. Like, you just have to realize that the reason Masako Nozawa is still Goku is different than why certain people do different stuff over here. Like, that's just
I
how
totally
it is.
I still find it highly impressive that she can still do it after all these years. The same identity. He's done Tetsuro. Like, I know this because I listened to that voice. It's Oshino Tetsuro from Galaxy Railways. That is
and like the Tetsuro. People that are also like, oh, like the Faulkner dub can like suck my ass, blah blah blah. It's like the problem with Faulkner was never the music. The music the Faulkner guys made is actually pretty good overall. It's the like whole it's the whole placements of it and how they used it too much. Because like when you really look at that behind the scenes of that, it was none of the artists' fault on how their music was used. And that's a lot of the problem with that, is that one, yeah, some of the tracks didn't mix, but there was no silence in the American version because of how Funimation placed it all the time. And a lot of people are they just are not ignorant of the information, but are just unaware of that information, so they don't know any better. And if you're not willing to tell people and teach people, then you're kind of dumb, to be honest, in my opinion. You have to be willing, like I said earlier with the whole like ignorance and experience, you have to be able to help people. And then if they try and be willfully ignorant, because there is such a thing of being purposefully ignorant, you see that a lot of the time in the Dragon Ball fandom as well, then you write those people off. When people are willfully ignorant.
Guys, there is one extra person that's going to come on if you want to. It died. The internet died when I was supposed to PM him, so I never got the DM reminding me. I'm so sorry.
But
I'm so sorry.
Hey, bring on. But yeah, if someone's willfully ignorant, then like you can, I wouldn't say gatekeep, but like kind of just
write them off.
Keep an eye on them. You just like put them into that little corner of like, hey, you're kind of stupid. Like, because willful ignorance is the worst kind of ignorance, because then you know someone's just being dumb on purpose.
Yep.
I view it as people like saying, "Oh, I watched the movie, so I know everything about this character." Like, bitch, no, you don't.
The movies suck. Also, I really, as much as Team 4 Star is great, I still sit here and I'm like, you're not gonna understand Dragon Ball or any of those.
If you just watch that.
Just watch that. They were summarizing it, and they literally are hardcore fans of the series. Like, I like listening to their other stuff where they talk about their favorite sagas, and in fact, they even admitted, I think, that they're not going to do the Boo saga. Cell Saga is going to be there.
No, they haven't announced that yet. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with that stuff.
Yeah, they're all working on. Some of them are working at Viz now, which is really cool. Like
they're working on dubbing their own anime at the moment. Like they actually got licensed to do an anime. Like Team 4 Star is actually an official dubbing company now.
That is fantastic. Can you believe that? That like they started out as just a tiny site on YouTube inspired by Little Karibo, and they blew up. Wouldn't that be cool if that happened to us, guys?
There's just a lot of stuff like with Team 4 Star that goes on behind the scenes that like.
Oh yeah, they're doing Kamehameha Con. I live in Texas, and so does Quill.
Wait, are you going to Kamehameha Con?
Yeah.
I'll see you there then.
Wait, where?
Yeah.
I'm flying down, bro. I'm gonna be hanging with all the boys there. Ooh. I can't wait for it.
Wait, which con?
Probably get you to meet some of them.
Kamehameha Con.
We'll meet up at Kamehameha Con, man. I am going because I have friends going there. I think I have one friend that actually does help work with Team 4 Star.
Please tell me this isn't Austin, because I can't afford to go.
It's near Dallas Fort Worth.
Oh hell! Maybe
I'm flying down there. I'm gonna be there for 4 days. Yeah. So. I'm gonna be hanging out. I'm gonna be hanging out with the squad, the boys.
That depends. I might go there depending on my final schedule and if I can afford to do it, because
it's costing me some. I'm getting a room by myself, which is great. I won't have to room with anyone. Thank Christ.
Like I said, I'm thinking about doing Power Morphicon if anyone's heading out to Pasadena in the summer.
What is it? There is a Power Rangers convention around there. That the people who run one of the major Power Rangers conventions are the ones that are doing Kamehameha Con.
Okay, so
they're the ones. They're the ones like doing all the behind the scenes stuff.
It's either gonna be Ranger stuff or Power Morphicon.
Yeah, but Kamehameha Con, honestly, like it's gonna be awesome, especially now that all that stuff with like the Gokus is settled and Kalamas is still going.
Can I just say, it is amazing how we have 47 people. It's still growing. We have more people watching every minute. Like, people, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And I am trying to read in the comments. If you guys have any questions, just DM one of us, and I'll definitely go and answer them.
If you are going to Kamehameha Con, hit me up on Twitter, because I am going, and I want to I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends most of the time because we have someone flying from Scotland to come and hang out. So I'm gonna be hanging with them, but I definitely would like to meet some other people while I'm there.
Yeah, I'll meet up with you, and you will finally be able to see my real face.
There we go.
Yeah, you'll be one of the first.
It's funny, like we were talking about. It's actually nerd to your point about Team 4-Star. It's like we were talking when we started the stream about that comics as an industry is dying, right? Well, so many creators and aspiring creators are in our community. I would if maybe sometime down the road, if we were all to come together and form our own company, it's possible. And it's possible.
I mean, right now I'm working on an independent project, and I've got
most of
you're
us
working
are.
on something. Mario's working on something. I'm working on something. Nerd's working on something. Everyone is doing a book. Even DNC's doing multiple books. It's like everyone is writing a comic book in one capacity or another. So it's what do you think? Like example, look at companies like Milestone and Wildstorm and even Image back in the day.
Wait, wasn't Wildstorm just a branding?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was just a branding for Deep Sea.
Yeah. It was one of their other imprints for a long time.
Then they wanted to bring it over, and that's actually one of the reasons the new 52 happened. They wanted
we just got a question. What do you guys think of the first issue of Go Down Swinging for the Amazing Spider-Man?
I didn't read it, but it's sold out at my store.
I don't
completely.
Because you want to know why? That's another thing I wanted to talk about. It was fucking baiting you. Everybody, okay,
my feelings.
He's pissed off. I'm gonna tell you that. But you saw his Twitter too. Weapon freaked out that night. Weapon freaked out when he saw the spoilers of that issue. He literally thought Mary Jane was going to die. And I kept pulling him back and going, it's a trap. It's a trap. We all know it's a trap. And he thought it was a trap. He literally they leaked that to make sales. Dan Slott knows Mary Jane sells. He hates Mary Jane. He's disgusted by Mary Jane.
I'm with you. He wants her dead. Like, he wants her flat. He doesn't want her dead.
But you can't kill Mary Jane because they will lose 30K more readership. They know this. They use her because they whore her out more than Gwen Stacy because they know she makes more cash.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the truth. So he likes to say, I own Mary Jane and I hold her in my palm of my hand so everybody will read it because that's all he can get people to read his shit for is to the murder factor. He's killing people off. He's perma-killing people off just so people will read his book. And that is the saddest and the most disgusting way to write a character off. Also, he likes keeping people, but that's another story. But so yeah, he wrote that. Get people on the book. It wasn't her. I already knew it wasn't her. And I'm just sitting here like, you all bought that fucking book because you got tricked into it. He got so many people tricked because he was hinting at Mephisto deal. He was luring everybody into a trap. It's not sold out because it's good. It is sold out because of the artwork and the trap.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bought it because I like Stuart Immonen's art.
You can't, no.
Yeah, I buy books because I like art sometimes.
Like, I buy Riri Iron Man because I like Caselli. I'm a Caselli guy.
Art only is 50% of.
I know. But I rightly criticize the rest of it.
No.
Yeah. Like here's actually, Nerd's right. Nerd is perfectly correct. A good comic book is 2 parts. It is 1 part writing and 1 part. It's not like a movie or a television show where you can have crappy special effects if the writing is strong. No. You need good art and good friggin' writing to make it work. However, it is much easier to digest, like if the art's bad, it's like, well, the story's good. But it's like, but at the same time, I've not read books because I think the art is trash. For example, I wasn't picking up Black Suit Daredevil at all because the art was garbage. Like, I'm sorry, whoever was art drawing for Soul, garbage.
Okay, so I just want to state this. Amro's in the chat now. Hey!
Hi.
Hello.
Also, Nerd.
What?
While we were talking about Kamei-Con actually announced that Hail Zeon's doing a shameless GT panel.
Oh, GT's the worst. Let's go together.
He's doing a shameless Dragon Ball GT apologist panel.
Okay, I'm actually
go with my sensei.
You guys can train your Ki Blast on me if you like. I kind of like GT.
Super's ending in 2 weeks, so.
Well, it's like I always said this. I said I like the idea. Everyone who knows my Star Wars rants knows this. I've never liked the idea of ending one continuity just to overwrite it with another. I've never liked that. I've always liked the idea if you're going to do that, come up with a way to blend it. And because I know that Super introduced the idea of the multiverse, I really wish they would go to a multiverse where GT did indeed happen, and that is canon, but it's in another universe, and then the two paths cross.
That's not going to happen. You're looking for heroes there, my friend.
I mean, by that logic.
Well, just some guy. Actually, speaking of which, that reminds me. Just some guy said this about Power Rangers when he was, going on his friggin' tirade about on Twitter about frickin', a good writer would actually do this, and they're right. A good writer would actually find a way to would not announce Cena Grace and Nags Asajio. They would find a way to put the Super Sentai teams with the Power Rangers. And I thought, and I actually extrapolated on it, and I said, what if, because they never explained in the TV show how Gosei got the Ranger keys for all the Power Rangers. I thought, what if the reason he got the Ranger keys is because the Gokaigers came to our Earth and created them just by showing up?
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm so confused.
Awesome.
I want to see Captain Marvelous take on fucking Tommy. I want to see that fight.
Surprisingly, I think I understood that.
Holy shit.
I understood none of it.
And
I
interest.
don't understand anything at all.
Oh shit! There's so many people in the chat. I want to thank you guys again. And yeah, we are this close. I am this close. I would love it if you guys subscribe to me. Thank you very much for subscribing. I am. What is it? 27 away from 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Actually, you're 28, but I'm not gonna shoot you down for one being one number off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind. I'm just really happy I got this far, and I haven't put out a lot of videos, so I'll have to do more.
Okay, I know we're going back to I know we're digressing back to Bendis, but something I noticed that made me that confused me is in every issue of a DC comic I got this week, and I only got 2 comics from actually 3. I got the recent Superman issue. I got Red Hood and the Outlaws number 20 and Sideways number 2. And in every single one of those issues, they had this giant 2-page spread in the middle that was really out of place. It said Bendis is coming, and for some reason, to me, it felt more like a omen, like a warning.
Guys, what if that's what they want? They want Bendis to be a bad guy, so they're setting it up to make him the biggest villain, and then after they kick him off, they're just gonna write that he was a bad guy in the book.
But it's there's everyone, as someone who goes on 4chan regularly and knows all the memes and shit like that, there's this one where it shows Superman's boner expanding as his penis is coming. It's what the fuck?
I don't mean to sidetrack, but I don't normally look at the back of my comic books. I just kind of close the cover. I just looked at the back of the new issue of Lost Light, and this is on the back. Let me see if you guys can see it.
Oh yeah, the editors wanted someone to die for Transformers.
So they made Cup, right? And it literally says honoring the death of Cup, and it's a plug for Transformers vs. Visionaries, and then said the road to Unicron is paved with Energon. That's what this says.
The road to events in Civil War is paid in the blood of dead, lovable characters and black people.
It says
I was gonna say just black people are dying, not everyone.
It says catch up on the exciting story.
What a bunch of white old dudes do at Marvel. They're like, we should make another Civil War.
It specifically states the first fallen soldier.
Wow. He
and
has
it says
the coolest name. I'm now pissed he's dead because I like that name.
It says catch up on the exciting story in Transformers vs. Visionaries number 1 on sale now. And remember, the road to Unicron is paved with Energon.
Well, then I don't want to go read it.
Okay, Samurai. Just to establish, Mags did not kill Cup. The editors killed Cup.
Okay, I'm gonna actually say this. Okay,
write everything.
The only thing I remember about Cup.
All right.
What'd you say?
One at a time, guys. Just so we can make a clear communication. No, you're good.
No, I'm done.
I actually did enjoy this last issue of Lost Light. After a lot of just dicking around, I really did enjoy this one. Especially as a Rodimus fan.
Except everyone's just dead.
Yeah, that part I'm pretty sure Roberts is going to be misleading us with the
Miss
whole.
Robert, why did I say Miss Robert? Roberts is always misleading us. Roberts is constantly misleading. That is why death means nothing in that book anymore. Anyone who dies is truly not dead.
Especially since I'm thinking he's gonna just resurrect everybody, especially the people who they brought back already, like Trail Cutter and Pipes. They're definitely bringing them back. I'm guessing.
I mean, they're dead already, so.
I mean, and I also, as a Rodimus fan, I didn't appreciate this issue because he meets gods, and the first thing he does is just give him the finger.
Yeah,
that was great. That's something
he's literally
like
he's literally like he literally calls God a coward, and then he's just struck by lightning and disappears. And Whirl's like, that's a god I can believe in. Like
Whirl is the best. I showed Nerd a picture of Whirl, like that one picture of him like with his eye like closed, and he's like, okay, we're gonna play a little game, and I like that's a perfect reaction image. I'm gonna send that to you just because that's.
This book was genuinely, I felt, better written than a lot more in recent stuff. I just felt, though, it didn't answer any questions we had. Like, when 10 is like, when they're explaining how 10 knows that stuff, he's just like, oh, I just know. Like,
yeah, that was weird. Also, the
style. Shit. Fuck. Okay. So, great
language,
show,
young man.
Who's your favorite Power Rangers team? Now okay. Now, before we went live, some of you guys suggested I should do this, but I'm gonna do it.
Do it. In the meantime, we will talk while you're doing it.
What are we doing?
Has suggested the best thing ever. War Turtle has suggested that Bendis is bald, just like Lex Luthor. Coincidence? I think he's on to something.
No, he looks fucking ghoulish. Bendis looks like a fucking fucking ghost.
It's really not his fault because he's really sick and
MSRA, right?
Yeah, he got MRSA. He got MRSA. I once suffered from MRSA in college, so I actually got it taken care of immediately, so I could still go around with my life. We thought it was just an infected spider bite, and it turned out it was a spider bite that got incredibly worse. So, yeah, I was on, they already gave me antidote for the spider bite, and it was helping. So they're like, it's not as bad, but you're going to have to keep away from a shit ton of things. And it was me limping for like weeks.
Give me your helmet.
I've got this gay ass
also, I don't know if anyone is interested, but coming out sometime soon. It says March, but I don't think it's coming out this month. Is ROM the Soul Star Order, which is it's a one.
Wait,
it's a one shot.
Canceled? Did ROM and the Micronauts get canceled? Or?
I think it was only supposed to be a miniseries, anyways. But Tales of the Soul Star Order is being drawn by the original artist of the original series, so that's why I thought I'd mention it. Yeah, it's being drawn by Scale Buscema, I think, or something Buscema.
Did you read ROM versus the Transformers Shining Armor? That was
I didn't. To be honest, I didn't read issue 5. I've been meaning to, even though I've been spoiled for it by the fact that I'm reading Optimus Prime. So, but it was a good first 4 issues. I need to finish the last one.
I picked it up. I picked it up mostly for the Milne art, but
the trade just came out. The trade came out, I think, this week.
It came out like yesterday, I think.
I highly recommend it. It's a really fun little thing. John Barber did a good job on it with writing. Pick it up.
I love how this chat has just gone awesome. Like, look at all the people, and we have a Power Ranger. We are talking about Transformers and Bendis and Superman and Spider-Man. This is good shit. This is very good.
Yeah, but
that's like if you're wondering, that's my favorite Ranger team, Time Force. And I see the chat. They prefer the Quantum Ranger. It's like the Silver Guardians. Yes, Eric is a badass. I'm sorry, but Wes was the one who was charging in with nothing but when he had both morphers into the final battle against an army of Cyclobots. Screw you all!
I don't know what half that means.
Buscema is alive. Isn't Sal Buscemi still alive?
Well, he's drawing the newest thing for ROM, so...
Smaxo, people don't hate Cyclops. Everyone on Co thinks Cyclops was right.
Cyclops is right. Okay, you want to know what I have to say? He was defeating a bunch of Nazis. He wasn't Hitler. The Inhumans were Hitler, and I've talked about this before. They are literally a group that sent out a noxious gas that was forcing it upon people to make a pure race, a pure, perfect race of soldiers, warriors.
And then they don't care about people because they just released the mist, and they're like, anyone who wants to join. Anyone wants to die. Like when I read the Death of X, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know, right? Like they were like, you just caused a whole entire genocide of people. They're like, they weren't the superior race. And you know what they do to the ones that can't become their superiors? They throw them away into the gutters. They go and live in the ghettos in the Inhumans world because they turn into slug people. And slug people can't be in their normal society anymore. They didn't even want that.
No, I meant to respect Black Bolt and Medusa, but the concept of Terrigen Mist is a waste of time. Like, I know that they want to repopulate through Inhumans, but still.
It's forcing it, and you were always supposed to be given the choice back in the day, and you forced it upon a whole entire society. We don't know what it does to humans, but we have figured out it does terrible things to the humans that are with the mutant gen.
I think that was Cyclops who did it during Infinity.
Yeah,
like he dropped the Terrigen bomb.
No, he didn't. He went. From what I know, Cyclops is the one that wanted revenge because it started. It caused genocide.
I'm gonna say this: Cyclops did nothing wrong.
He
protected his people from a giant fart cloud that was killing off his people, and he died like a fucking badass.
And you wanted to what?
Actually, Cyclops was right. Things started because of the Phoenix bust, the Phoenix coming back to Earth, and Cyclops at every single turn, whenever they tried to paint the Avengers as heroes, they're trying to stop the Phoenix. Yeah, none of you guys showed up to help. None of you guys actually are trying to work with the X-Men to see if this could work, because all you're doing is assuming the worst, and you don't think that the X-Men don't actually know that. You don't think Cyclops isn't aware that the Phoenix can destroy as much as it can create. You really didn't think that went through. You guys barely got that off of a mission briefing from Wolverine, and Wolverine is a dumbass. I'm sorry.
I honestly have no idea what we're talking about.
You want to know what's the best part about this? This is what fans are pointing out. The writers don't care. The writers are just making shittier and shittier soap operas. Meanwhile, we're like, hey, you're supposed to be taking place in the real world, right? Yeah.
Hey, Cyclops did nothing wrong, boys. Yeah.
It's like, you know, I always hated how the editorial, they had to friggin' force it. Like every time, it's like, you know, Wolverines and Captain America acting like smug bastards when Cyclops is locked up in prison. It's like, this is the one actually doing the right thing, guys. You guys are the villains. The only reason you guys won is because you had a movie coming out. Otherwise, you'd have got your asses kicked 10 ways to Sunday.
Bendis at his finest. Hoorah.
Oh, it's like, it's gonna be insane. So pretty much at this point, let's all make our own characters. So when Marvel goes down and burns, we can at least go buy Spider-Man and the X-Men and make him better.
I'm working on that.
Like honestly, I'm gonna say like Cyclops is one of my is my number 3 favorite Marvel character behind Spider-Man and behind Daredevil. That's like those 3 characters. And Cyclops was more of a hero sometimes than Captain America was in his peak, which is saying something. The guy literally went through shit and hell, and he always got a spotlight taken from the idiot with claws.
Jean Grey how many times? And he's married Emma Frost one time, and he lost Jean Grey like how many times? You understand?
Please stop these stupid, idiotic, like soap opera shit, which is like so notorious nowadays. It's like we must make them loathful, like what, emo scene kids? It's like they're like 30. Can we stop this shit? I enjoyed it in the 80s and a little bit in the 90s before this emo shit hit, where it was all like, you know, hey, we're having a good time. Let's go solve a mystery. Oh no, horrible shit happened. Oh look, everything's getting better. Okay. That was like
we need your opinion about.
Realize how hard you hit it, because I'm actually kidding. Like you're not. I kid you not. When there was about a year ago. This is before the fresh start, before Alonzo got fired. All the YouTubers were posting about it. The idea that there was a checklist of shit that was going on behind the scenes, and one of them was that no one, and I mean like no one at the Marvel editorial, likes the idea that the Claremont era is canon, because they all want to tell the Claremont story because they have nothing new. They're basically all piggybacking off of what Claremont was doing. It's like, but I wanted to tell that story. No, I wanted to tell that story, so I'm going to do it. It's already been told, guys.
Okay, let's let Amro talk. He wanted to say something.
I just want to talk about Marvel's sudden decision about Spider-Man's childish actions, because
that's nothing new. That's been around since like One More Day.
Here's the thing, because when I first started reading Spider-Man, he's the reason why I like comics, because Spider-Man, he's the one who can face the problems. And in recent comics, he creates problems, not facing problems.
Well, that's like pretty much what Dan Slott wants, because, okay, here's the thing about it. Most of the creators want to make a mistake. What do they call it? Sadism or whatever, when you beat somebody pretty much out of for your own pure enjoyment. he's pretty much become that character. Because to them, they believe that the most enjoyable thing was that he was a failure of a hero. That's what they see and perceive. At least Dan Slott.
It's funny because
Peter, when he's like,
you see
Peter,
that,
when he's like,
but yet they all grew up. They all grew up reading Frank Miller's Daredevil, and then everyone was under Quesada's belt, and they were all doing that. Daredevil is the hero who's supposed to fail.
No, I call bullshit because you want to know why? They all hate Frank Miller. They all think he's a racist dick, and they will not respect Frank Miller. Yet they all freaking can't. Like, but it's like, I hate you. You're racist, but your work is so good. I need to blow it again.
Double standard at its best. Like, imagine this: I hate you, but I love your story. What the hell? But why do you
like? You can't have that. Like, that's the weird thing about Marvel. It's like, yeah, we can disagree on things, but we can appreciate the art and work. But they act like such dicks, and I'm like. And they're like, why can't you just separate the artist and the writer? It's like, well, number one, you suck at writing anyway. And you're not a person. So
guys. Frank Cho's doing another Harley Quinn cover, and I've got to buy it.
Oh, also, I just found this out on guys. I just found this out on Sam Humphries is writing Harley Quinn.
No, that was a few days ago. Isn't that great?
Here's the thing: the panel where Mary Jane told Peter Parker we can't work it out. I'm like, what the hell, dude?
Wait! Emerald, you're still reading that bullshit?
I'm not reading that bullshit.
You better not be reading that bullshit because you want to know why?
I read it because I'm on fourth. I read it because I'm on.
Yeah, I know. But Dan literally wanted to rape her and ruin her character. He hates her.
No, not Superior. I was talking 797. I wasn't talking about Superior. I was talking about 797.
Oh,
when she was like, we can't work it. I'm like, really? Dude.
Ow, my feelings.
Oh no!
Oh, my heart is broken.
We can do 1,001 other people, even though Spider-Man is like, everybody's tired of this fucking shit. His name is Peter Parker, not Peter Pan. I'm sorry, his marriage made him older, but that's what he's fucking
kind of annoying. But like, dude, what's that? What the hell? You cannot work it out. Mary Jane knows Peter, and Peter knows Mary Jane. They know their tragedy. They've been through a lot. She's been kidnapped how many times, and yet she's happy to see Spider-Man. Now she's like,
Mary Jane hasn't been kidnapped as often as pop culture makes us think.
No, yeah, right. However, at the same time, like Arrow said it, it's like, did no one forget? They had, in fact, fucking published it in a book called Spider-Man Parallel Lives. They re-released it just after One More Day came out in a graphic novel called Mary Jane, Spider-Man's Girlfriend, which covered pretty much everything from Tom DeFalco and Parallel Lives. Like,
true, it's something annoying. Like, Spider-Man is supposed to be the person who brings the power and responsibility. This is the thing that Dan Slott doesn't understand. He claims that Peter has the power, but doesn't have the responsibility because you're the one who makes him, who doesn't have the responsibility. The reason of Peter's impulsiveness and his cockiness is because of you. You're making the reader like, oh, so that Spider-Man is supposed to be like that. No, Spider-Man isn't supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be the person who solves the problem, even if he creates a problem. Like, when I read about the story, I know it's old, when he shut down the Empire, I'm like, why would he do something like that? The company thingy. He could have at least encrypted the code. He could have at least encrypted the code. Peter's not dumb, by the way. He's really smart. Because at the beginning of Volume 4, he knows how to encrypt the code, but he doesn't know how to encrypt the code and send it to Harry while he's on the hiatus. That could have worked, but I know the idea of Stark-esque is annoying, but that could have worked. But no, he shut down the Empire and just like, screw it, I just want to go back as the failure Peter Parker. Okay, if he was young, okay, it's okay, because 15, 16... He's like 30. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like, Peter, you're 30 years old and you're failing.
Yeah.
It's like
Peter should always be a teenager, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair,
fight me.
To be fair, there are a lot of people in my. I mean, I'm 26, and like there's a lot of people slightly older than me who still act like teenagers. My ex-girlfriend is 34, still living at home. So it's like, and they still act like fucking teenagers. I can totally see he's probably just basing it off the cosplay girls he fucking sees at conventions every two goddamn week. Many of whom are 30.
like a Mockingbird. Okay, I have a mixed reception of Mockingbird, but he doesn't understand relationships at all. Like Mockingbird, she's annoying because of him. Because when I first read Mockingbird, before Chelsea Kane took over the story, before like the Avengers, she was a very interesting character.
What's
Now
going with Mockingbird right now?
Ask me about my fascist agenda.
Do you really want to cover this?
I'm calling Dan out right now. I'm calling you out right now, Dan Slott. If you ever watch this video, which you might because it's Third Wonder, you have never felt the inside of a vagina in your life. If you had, you would not have done a damn thing that you have pulled in Spider-Man and in Silver Surfer.
True, because I've read Silver Surfer, and I did not like it at all. It was supposed to be tragic, but I did not like it.
Doctor Who fan fiction.
Yep, that's exactly because when I saw some of the pictures of it, I'm like, why am I getting a vibe of Doctor Who?
Oh wait, because it's Doctor Who.
Oh, that's why he's a Doctor Who fanatic, so he thinks that he can write Silver Surfer now. Great.
True. I agree. It's like, you know what's funny? The most brooding person, Batman, gets married.
I'm alive again! Suck it, bitches!
Yeah, he's gonna get married in a couple of issues.
What? What are we talking about? Colossus's marriage?
No, you missed me calling out
Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
What?
Wait, okay, now we're just talking over each other. I'm confused.
Okay, what's going on? I just came back.
I just want to write a West Coast Avengers book.
Yeah, and you missed me calling out Dan Slott.
Oh, I kind of died in the middle of my yell, which is probably Dan Slott or not a.
And it was amazing.
Okay, without yelling, without raising my voice again, I basically said, Dan Slott, you have never felt the inside of a vagina in your life. If you had, you never would have done any of the shit that you have pulled, not just in Spider-Man, but also in Silver Surfer. After that, everyone started talking about how Silver Surfer was and is Doctor Who fan fiction.
He does not speak for all of us.
You know, it's funny when Dan Slott created the love interest of Silver Surfer. He created his own persona. The father is the spitting image of Dan Slott. I'm like, wow.
Wait. Are you saying that he went to Sonic Chew levels?
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus Christ, we're not talking about Sonic Chew tonight. I just
wait. Is the past 10 years of Spider-Man just Chris Chan Sonic Chew? It is. Holy shit!
Why has no one ever made that connection or that joke before?
Okay, can I steal that and put that in my review for $7.97?
Yes, I will allow because I don't read the book. So
I'm just here.
Oh,
I have
a question. Do you still believe
have crippling
Do
depression.
you still believe Black Goblin is a Mephisto because the design is demonic? Okay, it has a little bit of Carnage vibe, but it's demonic.
well, we're
I'm
talking
just here.
Yeah.
Red Goblin.
I just want to write comics and have a fun time.
Yeah, we're gonna go and just kick everybody's ass and be the rock stars, which are just us having fun with comics, and then one day
we're gonna hang out at Kamea-Con.
yeah, we
Because I'm having a good time, having a good time.
Yeah.
I shoot it through the sky.
Okay,
See, I love that I have the video on. I love that I have my video on because people can just see me making all these dumb faces.
We actually talk about the end of One More Day.
No.
No, we don't. Listen. That's for another chat. I feel like
That's a dead horse. Not.
We have talked about this. You have to check out one of Nerd's other live streams to check that out.
yeah, I talk about it constantly. In fact, we may do one on Friday. I may
I've
gather
got another one.
just straight
I had a
how much I hate it.
about Ben Riley.
I should do live streams. I feel like I should do live streams.
But
Yes.
it works.
Do
It's a little bit of fun.
live stream. Transformer live streams.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Whenever I need a whistle, so like whenever the conversation gets out of hand, I could just blow it and we can.
I can't do the whole like I can't do that.
Yeah, one of
Hang
the
on.
whistles sounded like this one, like the intercom on the Enterprise, the Star Trek original series.
I'm thinking more like the attention all hands one from
Yeah,
next
that one.
gen. Yeah.
Or we could just do like something that sounds cool that'll just immediately let us know. Like I do not know.
Hang on, I've got it.
Okay, what the?
Yeah, I just go with the Wilhelm scream.
I mean, we could just do.
No, I've got it.
I'll
I've
get
got
the
it.
Skyrim.
Fires laser.
No, actually, I'm actually serious. Like, we should have probably gone with the Wilhelm scream because we know that Lucasfilm's no longer using it because they're letting the past die.
They are though. I think they use it.
No, they actually said that they retired the Wilhelm scream.
No,
Why would you do that? The Wilhelm scream is like iconic.
Because
Look
they
at
wanted
it.
I thought they used it. I thought they did use it though.
I kid you not, the sound designer said, we're trying to do something new and create a new sound effect, and we're going to, quote unquote, let the past die. Like everything else we've been trying to kill in Star Wars.
I killed Shogun's ear.
I'm just applying for that editor position right now.
Do it.
Actually, no, I'm gonna have to put a resume together, so I'll do that like tomorrow or
Yeah,
something.
Spike told me that if I want to go in, I will have to put my like Twitter and shit on private. But this is the third. This is like my 7th or 3rd account on Twitter. I got many, so I mean,
I don't really post anything controversial on mine. Mine's just like mine's just like if you act like an asshole, I'm gonna say something. That's about it. But,
yeah,
like,
yours is gonna be safer than mine. I will probably have to be more quiet if I ever.
I never really call anyone out, and anyone that works at Marvel, I'm pretty nice with. Like,
yeah,
honestly, I'm pretty okay with most creators. Like, I never get personal with the creators, and even when like Mags unblocked me, I never got personal because like it was like whatever.
Yeah,
and I still
that.
honestly like. I never believed that those comments were actually Mags on my review until HP asked her to unblock me, and then she did, and I'm like, that's actually Mags, and I was like.
I mean, the only thing I really post on my Twitter is either dank memes or just me taking pot shots at whoever. Like I don't aggressively attack anyone. I just make shit posts.
I mean, I put someone on blast today. I definitely put someone on blast today from the Transformers community.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I saw the tweet. It was you saying, "Why are you fucking doing this, mofo?" Meanwhile, I
didn't phrase it like that, but
I do all the friendship around. But then when it comes to Dan Slott and other people, I will say crazy psychotic shit.
I mean, I think that's why like I fly under the radar more than most in the community. Like I've spoken with people and outside the community, and they say they consider me Comicsgate because of the circles I run with. I would never personally consider myself Comicsgate because I just the way I handle things is a lot different. I'm more just like a writer is a writer, and if they aren't good for that book, then eventually they'll be off of it. That's always been my thoughts on it. It's never been like, oh, this needs to be out of comics. I mean, yes, I agree some stuff shouldn't be in comics. I agree that some things shouldn't be written some ways, but I've never really considered myself like Comicsgate really, or even part of that.
Oh, it's fine.
But people consider me part of the community because of how I'm involved with it, with like people and like trying to regulate stuff. So.
You do have issues, and that's why they think of you as well part of it, because you will listen to our side. And
I mean, I was talking with my friend. I was like, a lot of people in the community know who I am, and if someone tries and fucks with me, people usually back me up. I am that guy.
I can't wait to go see you at KamehamehaCon. I guess you guys can come and see us on KamehamehaCon as non-celebrities. I guess we'll have to dress up though. So
I'm not. I might be going as a male version of Pan because someone dared me to.
I might be going as me.
Josie Kandamu told me to go as to like wear the crop top for Pan, and I said we're not going that far with it, Josie. I'm sorry. Like, no one wants to see me in a crop top.
What do you think of the story of Venom getting lost in the city of Madripoor? What?
Wait,
when was this?
Because I don't read New Venom. I don't read a lot of new shit on purpose.
Venom is currently.
Wait, Shogun, was this
working with Venomized and stuff?
Wait, Shogun, was this?
I'm working on it.
Shogun, was this like the newest issue, like Venom 162, or?
I don't know. All I know is I'm picking up more recent Venom because I want to see the effects of Venomverse, and that stuff's happening right now. And then Venomized is coming because I enjoyed Venomverse.
I hate all of it. It was so stupid. It's like, let's do a Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse also sucked. I'm not gonna lie. And
I enjoyed Venomverse for what it was.
God, Venom MJ in Renew Your Vows because of that, and it fucking pissed me off. It fucking pissed a lot of people off. Though
I mean, I enjoyed I enjoyed what's it called? I enjoyed Venomverse a lot, to be honest, except for the last issue because it kind of like went like it fizzled out. It really fizzled out. It left itself too open-ended. But I'm interested to see where it all goes. And I'm also they're releasing a figure of Poison Spider-Man, and I'm gonna get that.
Okay, guys, I thought I should tell you this. I forgot to tell you, which is a big problem on my part. Tim Morris actually does make a comic book, and he's given out for free the preview of it on Comic Central.
All right.
Cool.
I'm still waiting for Rags #1 to be physical.
I think you're about to get your wish soon. I'm pretty sure they're about to put that to print.
Didn't they just make a Patreon update that they're going to print soon?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems that he's been prepping with the paperbacks for a while, so I'm pretty sure it's on its way.
Good, because that's what I told. Like, I talked to them. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get digital. I'm gonna get physical. And he's like, oh, all right, cool. That works. You're not gonna get it for a while, but.
When I start my Charger Patreon, I'm gonna basically, I want to have at least like 10 or 12, like enough to make a preview out of it that I can give it to you guys, like anyone who subscribes for like $1, and then probably pump it out until the trade gets available. And then once the Patreon update, then I can send everybody who subscribed for X amount of period of time, like just the full trade, because it'd be, why not, right?
So the internet.
I got video now.
Shinketsu wants to say, I'm sorry, guys, but the Venom movie is going to suck. Hope I'm proven wrong, but yeah.
No, you're not going to be proven wrong at all. It's
not looking pretty. I think
hey, Neil's got video on.
Neil's doxing himself.
Yeah, video facts.
No, I'm so sad.
Yeah, I got a haircut. Holy shit.
I need a haircut, bro.
Your haircut looks pretty.
This is.
Thank you.
Oh, this is awful. Look at this. This is just. Ooh.
No, you look fine. I just have okay. So before I got my haircut like yesterday, I had like the sides and the back were like forming into a mullet.
Oh god.
I was looking like 90s Superman.
I need to get my haircut.
You don't want, note to self, you don't want to look like 90s Superman, because when you have the mullet and the black suit with like the silver cuffs, and you look like that guy who's going, they're ruining everything. Yeah, it doesn't look that great.
For anyone that's not aware, my hat says "Peace Through Tyranny" on the back.
Oh hell yeah! I want that hat. Give it to me.
I got it. They don't sell Decepticon hats at Lids anymore, as far as I can tell. But when they did, I got "Peace Through Tyranny" written on the back.
I might get a custom made one that says "Freedom is the right of all sentient beings."
Please, I'm a Decepticon.
Or Wreck and Rule.
Wreck and Rule would be good.
And then there's just me with this, which is, I was wearing it before we went live, but this one.
Oh,
nice.
Oh.
I mean, I've thought, like, if I ever get a tattoo, I'm either gonna get a Decepticon symbol or "Peace Through Tyranny" written somewhere.
I'm actually my buddy who does great tattoos. He's actually gonna tattoo me the Daredevil emblem on my chest.
On your chest, Christ!
Yeah, like because I just have the 2Ds engraved on my chest, and like I actually had a neat idea that if in the future I ever have kids, I can actually have their dates of birth engraved in the 2Ds.
Oh, that works. My dad what he did was he got a like big wolf and then got a wolf for me, my brother, and my sister.
Nice.
Oh. So, and then my grandpa has like every one of his grandkids' birthdays tattooed on his arm.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's actually like, as I like having, because I wear a lot of Daredevil merchandise. Like I've either got an earring, I've got a hat, or I've got a shirt, and it's like, well, I might as well just, and my name is Matt, naturally, without talking myself. But then again, I do a Daredevil channel, so it's kind of. Yeah, it's like I even have the glasses. Yeah, so it's like I think it's appropriate. I have the name. I already have the shoe fits already, so I might as well just put it on my chest.
Now all you need to do is be a lawyer.
That's expensive. Holy fuck!
One step closer.
You're one step closer.
Oh no!
You know what? I'm surprised no one in the community has really talked about. It doesn't have to do much with comic books, but I'm surprised no one's really talked about the Toys R Us thing.
Oh wow.
That's going bankrupt and they're dying?
No, officially every store is closing. That was actually confirmed today. Every U.S. store is closing. Yeah, and I get to lose my job. I mean, I've known I'm losing my job for a few months now, but my whole problem with it is just the misinformation that's being spread, especially with like iHeartRadio going out now because of the same exact reason.
Wait, so that because they own like every single radio channel across.
Well, Bain Capital. They like acquire these companies and they drop their debt on it. Bain Capital is known for it. They did it to KB Toys as well. It's something that they do. There's like 3 big companies that like acquire the assets to these companies and then use them as debt dumping grounds.
That seems really illegal, and we should probably put laws that stop that.
We should, but there aren't.
Yeah, our government.
And that's 33,000 people without jobs, I believe. So
Yeah,
Oh,
we
geez.
should really stop that. Like,
Thanks, America. And
I mean, like,
you're
a lot of
supposed to
people-
stop monopoly. Stop it.
a lot of people say Toys R Us's business model didn't work in modern day, but it did. It actually really did. And they account for 10 to 15% of all toy sales. So that's a lot gone.
I don't want to say that I know what caused your company to go under, but I think what happened was that a lot of companies or a lot of investors used Toys R Us as a front to pile on their debt.
Yeah, that's what I was
eventually
saying. That's what Bain Capital did, and it didn't come down to they were making less money than Walmart, Target, or anything. They were still a successful business model. And
yeah, the business model was fine.
It's the debt that piled up and they couldn't pay it off. That's why it's happening to iHeart because Bain Capital did the same thing to them.
This is so messed up and sucky. Damn it.
Yeah, they do these things. And then,
I mean, it's like interesting because we like it's not like the Blockbuster collapse, which was their own themselves that accidentally caused it. Because
it's more of an inevitable crash.
True. They pretty much had the offer. They were offered by Netflix first if they would like to do this. Like Netflix was going to come up, but Netflix went to them and said we would like to do a joint partnership with you. So you get all these online things, and they said no, and Netflix turned out to have killed them.
Yeah.
Blockbuster is a sad death.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A sad, slow death.
Because let's face it, we can't get movies like that anymore. You have to do these digital live things.
Also subscription. That adds up over time. Like if you get like Netflix and Hulu, and now everyone's trying to make their own streaming service because Disney is making their own streaming service. Warner Brothers is making their own streaming service.
Warner Brothers is making two different streaming services, one for their movies and then one exclusively for DC stuff.
You want to know what else they're about to do? This is going to come as a little bit of a shock, guys. But what was I about to say? See, the DC is. I don't know. Aren't they gonna? They're gonna bring all their cartoons on one.
Yeah, I said that. I literally just said
the DC streaming service. That's where they're.
Sorry, I thought you glitched out.
They announced Red Hood for the Titans series, and this series keeps looking better and better.
Not actually. I should say this because I actually do have an insider. It's not. No, it won't be Red Hood. It's Jason Todd when he's Robin because Nightwing. The only things I know confirmed is that Nightwing becomes Nightwing in the 5th episode.
But so
Robin the actor can't act worth a damn. Apparently, it took him 20 takes just to say one line.
Why did they? All right.
So wait. Let me.
levels of shit. Then.
Okay, I need to.
They're having that Dick Grayson.
I actually have insider info on.
All right, Devil.
Sorry.
Yes.
I want to know which Robin was the terrible actor.
Dick.
Yeah, Dick.
Oh hell.
Okay, here's the other issue I have.
Does he at least have a good ass?
Hear me out. Hear me out why I'm so pissed off.
I got that.
Oh, shit.
They picked him for stupid reasons when there was a guy that went through a whole entire take about why he should be Dick Grayson or like one of the Robins, and he did all these flips and tricks and showed he could really fucking act. And they didn't pick him. They made him into Beast Boy. And I'm like, you swapped him for the most annoying looking fucker for Robin. You trust?
No.
If he had a nice ass, then I could at least accept him as Nightwing. But he doesn't. So
how dare they?
I can spill the beans on some of the info that people shouldn't be. I mean, I've been trying to get it out to Emergency Awesome and larger channels, but they are not hearing me. So I figured I'll just spoil it here.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson apparently can't act worth a damn. It took him 20 takes to say this one line. Sometimes when you are in this business, sometimes you're out there to help people, and sometimes you're out there to hurt people, and then eventually, one way or another, that line becomes blurred.
Why did they keep him?
Because apparently, apparently because he just looks like Nightwing, and evidently they're stuck with him. And they actually are adapting the Nightwing Bloodhaven story. So when we pick up with him, he's a cop, and he actually has to be forced into being Robin again for at least a little bit. He becomes Nightwing in the 5th episode. He has an onboard computer that immediately connects into the Batcave with Alfred. So Alfred is in the show.
Let's stop spoiling it, man. Come on now.
No more. We'll do this in another live stream.
Plus, we could get around
for another live stream.
Plus, we could have like a lot of legal problems with leaking this stuff out to the public.
They can't legally. No, dude, legally they can't do shit to me because I haven't revealed the source.
But Nerd and I have YouTube channels. We can get sent to YouTube jail or like completely banned.
Yeah, all of us could.
For 3 months, I ain't suffering again, bitch.
I serve Monday.
Honestly, if it leaks, they can't blow anything back onto us. They have nothing.
Guess what? I'm not suffering because of your stupid mouth. Shut your face.
I put it like this. Alan Richson as Hawk. That's what's happening, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
He has erectile dysfunction.
I want the Constantine cartoon now.
What about Jason Todd? Because there's going to be an episode.
Let's talk about Starfire for a minute. I want to talk about Starfire.
Okay. She actually seen it. She's painted. She's not. It's not CG. She's going to be enhanced with CG, but she actually steps inside a pod that they do every morning, and they blast her with paint.
Is that really a good idea? I mean, I wouldn't mind her just being a regular skin tone if they could actually just kind of like shade her up a bit in certain parts.
I mean, and they could do it in post also. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard.
I think it would look too weird in post.
Okay. But I feel like it must be incredibly uncomfortable for her at the same time.
Yeah, well, look at the shit that Jennifer Lawrence had to do for Mystique.
Okay.
Also the shit that Dave Bautista did for Drax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 7-hour process or something.
What they're doing with Starfire is positively toned down. She just steps in a pod, gets blasted for about was it a minute, 2 minutes with orange paint, and then I think she wears like a couple of dots here and there to enhance her with CGI, and that's about it.
I mean, okay. Aside from the fact that she looks, I like the fact that they're keeping her orange, but like, there's a lot of people, like if they really want to get a black actress, there's like a dozen better looking actresses they could have gotten to play Starfire. It was like
no offense to anyone, like that girl is like a decent looking girl, but like when you think of Starfire, you should think of like goddess level beauty. And not to say that actress isn't attractive. It's just like you need.
She's good looking, but like we're thinking like bombshell quality.
Yeah, like you need someone who like invokes Helen of Troy. Like
you guys are visiting such a pretty Starfire.
Yes.
Because the comics have a set vision for her.
Yes. Yeah, but here is the problem with what you said, and I'm not saying this as to be some kind of dumbass SJW, whatever. I'm actually saying this is that the problem is that when we think about that, we build up this expectation in our mind that is so like, oh my God, that it's not realistically attainable. And even if it was realistically attainable, the chances are someone that good looking who can actually act that way half decent, they're probably already up in Hollywood, higher up, and it's like they could afford to actually work with.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like you have a set expectation for Starfire, so it's like when you get someone who is not up to that standard, you're like, oh, this could be better.
You know what's interesting? Do any of you watch DC? Do any of you watch Legends of Tomorrow?
I do.
Actually, yeah, I do.
I posted this on Twitter. But in one of the recent episodes, the episode starts with them coming back from a mission where they're all dressed up in disco stuff, and I thought the girl who plays Sarah, I can't remember the name for the life of me, would make an excellent live action Dazzler.
Katie Lotz, that's her name.
Yeah, I posted pictures of her in the disco outfit on Twitter, and she would make a perfect live action Dazzler.
Okay.
Oh, Supergirl got canceled apparently?
That's what people are saying. I thought, maybe I should check in on that.
No, I see CBR put out an article about the season finales, and the way they phrased everything, it seemed like the entire Arrowverse was canceled.
Yeah. I know Marvel's animation department got completely canned.
Well, they got completely canned because they pulled too many stunts, and obviously, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man only has a season 2 is probably because they already made it. I am 100% sure.
I don't like their Black Widow design for that show.
No, everything about that show is terrible. Okay, here's the thing. Hear me out. You always heard Ultimate Spider-Man. You saw kids running around with those outfits and shit. I have yet to see that same hype.
I liked Ultimate Spider-Man. A lot of people hate that show, but I liked it.
No, let me talk. I mean, it had really good designs. I'm really going to admit that. But This new show has nothing brought to the table. I mean, some of the drawings are pretty good, but except there's no shading, the writing is terrible, and there's too many errors. They cut so many corners into the show. Also, Dan Slott and Joe Quesada have added themselves into the story, so fuck off. Yep. And so
the character design for that show is wretched. I just don't like the animation is terrible. Like the art style could be fine. But,
the art style is fine, except everything else is 6 Spider-Men in one show, and it makes no sense. Everybody's a fucking genius. So, and I interviewed kids before about the previous Spider-Man show for work, and they said there were too many Spider-Men. They didn't like the last sagas of Spider-Man because there were too many Spider-Men.
That's where Ultimate Spider-Man fell apart, to be honest.
Yeah,
too many cooks.
Okay, this is the thing. That's what because these morons up above the higher staff don't listen to the children. They think that they can make things stupid. So they cut all the corners because they thought kids will buy this because it says Spider-Man. Kids are stupid. But kids aren't stupid. They like to be respected. So they will go to Justice League Action, which treats them with a little bit more respect by saying, hey, look, here's Mark Hamill. We're going to make a whole entire mini short about Mark Hamill's voice acting character.
Yeah. Actually, Justice League Action treats people a lot of respect.
My issue about the cartoon is the characters, the Anya, Corazon, Gwen. It's too rushed that they have spider powers because I know we're setting up for the Spider-Verse, but it still doesn't make sense because
it's not the Spider-Verse. It's not the Spider-Verse. They want to market tons of toys, and so they picked out the ones that don't merge into an adult Peter Parker. So there won't be the real Spider, the one true Spider Girl, according to DeFalco. They won't do Spiderette. They won't do. Still getting too perverted to add in. So
here's a good question I have to ask, because if they're so obsessed with making like diverse characters, like they really want to push like that Marvel Rising Secret Warriors thing they're making, like they're emphasizing the diversity of their cast. Like why don't they do Mayday Parker, who is infinitely more popular and is one of the longest running female superheroes of all time with 100 issues without cancellation, and B, why don't they just use her because she has much more brand recognition? She's been around for like 20 years.
Can I just say that one show that is vastly underrated nowadays, and a lot of people don't really talk about, Superhero Squad.
Ow, my ear.
I personally
calm down.
I personally loved Superhero Squad, and I thought it did a good job at what it was doing, and it was being a fun kids show.
Yep.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes was like the more adult one at the time, but I watched both and I enjoyed both. I'm actually rewatching Earth's Mightiest Heroes right now, and all of Superhero Squad is on Hulu, and I plan to watch Superhero Squad next. But like Superhero Squad did a good job because it was so snarky and so ridiculous and stuff, like, and their bits were great too. Like they had a whole bit going on for like an entire season where Thanos got trapped in, I think, the Mind Stone, and Adam Warlock was in there too, and they just become roommates, and like and Thanos is just like a really shitty roommate, and Adam Warlock is like, could you just stop snoring? And he's like, I can't, like, and then like they just start talking, and Adam Warlock's like, maybe you should like see a doctor or something. Like they just like, it's just so fun to see that show. And like they made like Silver Surfer into like a surfer dude and stuff.
Okay, honestly, like, but you say that like, whoever was talking about Mayday.
Here's the thing, my favorite
brand recognition, guys.
Hey, wait,
I hate to put a pin in your little bubble, but when a lot of the shit that the creative talents do, they get their ideas from conventions and cosplayers. Every cosplay chick and her dog is now pumping out Gwen, Anti-Gwenum, Venom Gwenum, Carnage Gwen, whatever. Everything is Spider-Gwen.
Well, I mean, by that logic, we should be seeing a shit ton of Power Girl.
Yeah, it's like they pump out like Spider-Gwen like it's nobody's fucking business.
I know, but like I'm just saying that like Mayday has a significant reader base. Like if they really want to, they don't
care about readers. They care about, oh, look at that chick's ass. Oh, she's got good tits. I'll focus on this. That's what they care about because they think that's marketable because they're too busy being perverts.
It's true, by the way, because that happens on the modern series comics It happens. I agree with you, by the way, man.
If you look at conventions,
True,
they go to, part of their job is going to conventions. They only go based on what they.
Let's keep things calm, guys. This is supposed to be just a chill stream. Let's keep it.
No. It's nothing. It's not. He's just saying that what you see on the series is based on the convention, not based on the readers. Like, I agree about Mayday, but people don't care about Mayday nowadays. All they care is about.
No, I hate that thought. I hate that is the truth, but it is the truth. And most of them, I talk to these women. Like, some of these people are my dearest friends, and I've told them about Mayday. They go, "Who's Mayday?" They only know Spider-Gwen.
Which is kind of sad because Mayday has more popularity than the Spider-Gwen.
I know, but they don't care.
The problem with the Spider-Gwen book is that it didn't go anywhere, really. It didn't go anywhere fast. I read a lot of that book, and it really went nowhere fast.
Especially when the
Actually, if I'm actually nerd, I should probably loop her back in.
Big Christ. Okay, what was going on?
Okay,
No, I got mad. I got mad.
Put it in your bubble about Mayday's popularity. Yes, she's popular with the reader base, but comic book creators, they don't go based on reader base. They don't care. They go what they see at conventions, and every 2 feet. Nerd, let me finish.
Guys, quit interrupting each other. Calm down.
All right. The reason she's not popular outside of the reader fan base is because they refuse to sell marketing towards her. It has been well known that they tried to kill her off. They hate her because of one specific reason, because it confirms that Spider-Man would be better off as a father.
And also on top of that, if you want to go back to Lois
Let me finish.
Okay.
The best example, Renew Your Vows.
Spider-Man. Yes, Renew Your Vows does sell. She's a younger personification in that one. But here's another thing. The only other time we have ever gotten her is a small keychain based around a children's book they did write a Mayday outside. The only time we ever see stuff is I think the UK did a few things for her.
I'll be right back.
And she's in the Spider-Man Unlimited mobile game.
Yeah, she's not to be acknowledged. They will not accept her, and like Tom DeFalco just sits there like with a shit-eating grin going, you're missing out. And they're like, shut the fuck up, DeFalco.
But the worst part, and I mean this, like the worst part is that, and then on top of that, they go to conventions and they see a chick with a nice ass wearing Spider-Gwen, Anti-Gwenum, whatever. Like, they're like, because Brandon Gilbert, T.O., he actually made a lot of the Spider-Gwen costumes that are now out on the cosplay market. And I know him personally. Like, I know him in the community. I don't know him personally, but I know him from the community. Like, and it's like, he's done that. He makes a decent living off of doing Spider-Man costumes. And whenever his girlfriend or, somebody else is wearing a Spider-Gwen costume, it's like, the comic creators, they look at that and go, she's got a nice ass. Let's market that. That's what the girls want, because the big girls with the nice titties like them. It's like, that's what they are so sick and perverted that they will think of that, and then they go, and then on top of that, from the higher up guys, they go, yeah, let's just go with that, guys. Let's just go with that, because
it is. I will say it is true from what we found out that most of how Marvel figures out what to do for marketing is literally conventions, without realizing that they have actually ostracized most of their stuff. Mostly, it's only in the largest conventions, which are hard to get into. Let's the Comic-Cons of those, New York Comic-Con and San Diego Comic-Con, you have to
NC2,
Fan Expo, Toronto Comic-Con, friggin' South by Southwest.
To go. And DC found out that they were having problems by going to other cons. That's what you have to do. You have to go outside, because that is the niche market of we're pompous. Ha ha ha! Look at me. My dad gave me a car because he owns a dealership. Ha ha ha! Get out of here, you peasant.
Also, in the respect of calm discussion, I have brought with me my whistle from when I was a lifeguard for 3 years. And whenever we get way too out of hand, I will blow this from a safe distance. And
all I'm gonna say is, if we're talking Spider-Man, there was a cover that I had put on Twitter that I said I really wanted, and I found it the next day. This was a few weeks ago, but I didn't share that I got it. Alas, poor Spider-Man, I killed him well.
Oh.
It's actually a 3-issue arc, so I grabbed all 3 issues. I thought I'd share that because I remembered it, and I'm like, we're talking Spider-Man, I might as well.
That's a really good one.
It's an Eric Larson cover. So
Nice.
it's topical too.
Isn't he the guy who made Mary Jane look like a hooker?
I don't know.
No, that was Tom. That was.
I do also own Savage Dragon issue 1 by him. So.
That was Todd. Todd
I
did
own
that.
a lot of Image #1.
Whistle.
Todd really liked it, drawing her that
One
way.
of the-
He thought she looked pretty. I didn't like it, but that's okay. It made her very spunky because he thought she didn't look like a model, so he drew what he felt looked like a model, 80s model.
You know, one of the few Image #1s I don't have is Spawn. I have the Max #1, I have Savage Dragon #1, I have Shadowhawk #1, I have Youngbloods #1, I have Wildcats #1, Cyberforce #1, Supreme #1. I have a lot of the #1s of Image. I think the only major one I don't have is what did I just say?
Spawn?
Yeah. So I need to find that. That's gonna be money.
Nerd Wonder needs a butt where you can pay someone.
Any of us have money.
What?
Oh, it's Tim in the chat. He's like, Nerd Wonder needs a button where she can taste someone in the stream.
Someone said I should bring in a ring bell. No, I'm bringing in my lifeguarding whistle because that gets attention.
I
After 3 years on the job as a lifeguard, I can
this.
confirm that this thing has a punch.
Yep. I've kind of just been chilling, just listening to everybody.
enjoyed this.
I think we are kind of going in circles a little bit. I think maybe we should start bringing this to a close.
Yeah, we really should. But
If you
it's
wanna.
getting late, and I know tomorrow's Friday, and we can get down on Friday doing larger streams if so desired.
Oh God,
I mean, half my mouth won't work, but I'd be totally be down.
Oh yeah,
We have a spider meme. I forgot to get down on Friday.
I need to figure out what I'm gonna stream about if I start streaming.
Who has seen Josh Keaton do the voice of Spider-Man from Spectacular do spider memes?
yeah. He really,
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that. He did that on the YouTube. Did he?
yeah.
He
He
did.
did on YouTube.
Yeah, he also did an interview on the crawl space. He also apparently he had a Mini Cooper with a Spider-Man pattern on it, but he sold it for some reason. I don't know
What's
what
the
it
crawl
was.
space?
Spectacular.
Crawl Space is the most. You know how the GI Joe has that site? What is it called again? Where all
Yojo.com.
Gojo. This is like Gojo, but for Spideys. This
I
is
don't know what Yojo is, so
This is
It's
where
basically where every single GI Joe fan conglomerates.
oh.
This
Yeah,
is
we have a
where-
bunch of those for Transformers.
Yeah, the crawl space is basically that for Spider-Man fans.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
everybody goes there.
get blockaded out by like CBR and the other places because they will ban the heck out of you. Those spider vines have remained very safe environment.
Well, because and they friggin' respect the hell out of Doug. It's like, what the hell,
What?
Douglas
Spider vines?
crawl space. They will.
Mike McNulty was once Nerd and I went on a stream on my channel discussing Spencer, and we brought on Mike McNulty. He used to review for Crawlspace, and he's been in like big discussions with Douglas Ernst. So
Doug is a super fun
See,
guy to talk to.
yeah, he's awesome.
If I do streams, I would love to have like guests on and stuff, like that's outside the community as well as in the community.
No, that's like the best thing. I like getting outsiders. Like we got a few on my street.
I've actually been slowly working through reading some of Mags's old stuff because I do want to do an interview with her after Visionaries wraps up.
That's a wonderful idea.
So, because she's always open for interviews, to just message her on DMs. So I'm like, all right.
I think that's a splendid idea, and I wish you good luck doing so.
Yeah.
We'll see if I.
A lot of the community, if they'll have community interviews, gonna kill her.
Half the community is gonna hate me, but I don't fucking give a shit.
Oh, they're not gonna hate you. They're just gonna hate her. They're gonna hate on her.
Nobody ate our faces off when we let that one guy that does the Hawaiian dick on. Nobody's gonna kill.
Yeah.
I mean, I put it like this:
pretty
if
well
there's any hateful comments in the comment section, I'm gonna delete it. Like that's just how it is. I don't normally
What are
delete
you
comments, but if it gets out of hand, I would delete it.
Feisty's on. Hello, Feisty. We love you, Feisty.
What?
Feisty fan is in the chat.
Oh,
Tim,
I don't know who these people are. I just like see like I disappear for a few days at a time, and then like 10 new people show up. And I'm like, who are these people? Why do they have more
I'll
subs?
introduce you. This is Feisty Fan. She is a new harem streamer. She works at a comic book shop, and she has given us information as to how the comic book shops run and how they feel about certain companies.
Oh, see, like I disappear for a few days at a time, and then these people show up and they automatically have more subs than me, and I'm like, this is happening.
Okay. It's okay.
Actually, like, honestly, I should probably.
Welcome to my world.
I should probably podcast.
You know what? That will.
My
Yeah.
comic store, Stadium Comics, is actually, believe it or not, they've been wanting to talk to me about when I start getting my Charger and stuff out about advertising. It's like paid advertising. You guys are gonna sell my book? Fuck yes.
I mean, I just get along with my comic book. Like, I'm always helping out the guys at my comic shop. They just moved into a new building, so I was like helping them decorate and shit.
That's wonderful. I think, see, this is why I love you guys. You guys are so wonderful and good people that just want to work.
I can only imagine what Nerd Drunk might just be like, I love all you guys.
Or she's the polar opposite.
Yeah, or she's the polar opposite. Like, you all can suck my ass.
Like yesterday with Rich in the chat in the
Oh my
Discord.
God.
Wait,
Holy
Rich
shit.
Johnston was in the. Wait, Rich Johnston?
No.
No, not Rich the Leech. Not
This
Rich the
one
Leech.
guy who can't stop talking about my legs.
Oh my
Why is he talking about your legs?
Yeah, long story.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me that one. You will
Yeah,
tell
I'll tell you some other time.
That was a case of what?
Excuse me.
It's not worth it. It's a bizarre story.
Have a good one, War Turtle.
Anyway, War Turtle is heading out, and I think we should all head out. So let's go and say goodbye to everybody. I'd like you guys to do a shout out for each one of you.
Okay.
Bada bing, bada bang.
Are we gonna start from the far right side
Who's gonna go first?
with Arno?
I think the order's different for all of us.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube stream. I guess it would be Quill first, then me, then Morrow, and then Nightwolf, and then Amaro.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
So go ahead, Quill. Go for it.
Oh, so I just do like what I do for fun.
Plug
and-
yourself, buddy. Just be like, watch my shit.
I'm Quill Sniv. I used to run a semi-popular YouTube channel where I reviewed bad movies, but now I'm a washed-up has-been who writes a fan fiction about how Spider-Man's marriage is a good thing.
It's a good fanfic.
You write
Oh,
Renew
I
Your
will plug-
Vows?
I really want.
I
No,
write.
it's
I
better
write.
than renew your vows.
That's high praise. When someone says you write better than a good comic, that's.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Those words didn't leave my mouth.
Oh.
I will give you. I will let you jerk yourself off for a second though. Go for
Okay,
it.
They were nerds' words, not mine. So.
imagine you jerking off while writing. Okay, that's something. Okay.
Ah.
Distribute a
Please,
little
no.
free literature.
Ooh.
Well,
All right.
Okay.
sorry.
Yes.
Oh
I
hey, and
also
it's
ship
perfect
post-
because and it's perfect. We're ending now because Comics Division just went live. So.
sweet. Let's say goodbye.
So I'm
Oh yeah, I'm saying we're ending as he's going live.
All right, so I guess I'm the Devil's Due. I occasionally run a YouTube channel, mostly about Daredevil content. Though when it's something really pisses me off in Comicsgate, I'll review that. And I am currently working on the comic book soon to be known as Charger. If you want to find out what's going on at Charger, you can find me on Twitter at Charger Collins, or if you just want to put up with me normally on Twitter, being an idiot, you can find me at Jedi Tamaric, or just look up the Devil's Due. I'm usually not too far from Nerd Wonders chats.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and then me. It's me, Maruyasha, as always. Your boy. I run a YouTube channel under the name Maruyasha. I did start a second channel as well called Maro Media. That's more video essays. I haven't posted a video on that in about 3 weeks now. I was gonna do a video about Keijo, but that kind of got put on the back burner for other stuff. I haven't put a video out on the main channel either in a bit. But there is gonna be stuff coming back to that soon. I want to start up something new with that. Stream soon. You can find me on Twitter at Maruyasha, pretty much anywhere at Maruyasha. So just look for that, Maroyasha, and stay safe, all you beautiful people.
Yay! It's my turn. Hello, I am Nightwolf Plays. I play video games, and I talk about everything that is potentially nerdy in the world. You can follow me on Twitter as well if you want, and that's pretty much it. I got nothing. I'm dead.
You have a Minecraft Let's Play?
No.
Oh.
If only. Then maybe I could actually have a subscriber base. But I'm not going to play Minecraft. I'm not a shill, damn it.
Not yet.
What a fucking normie, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not no damn normie. I'm not going to play Call of Duty and Minecraft.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's implying desperation.
Not that desperate yet. We'll see what happens in a year or so when YouTube is dead.
Anyways,
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Oh, hello. My name is Amro. I am an artist, and I only have Twitter and Instagram account. I don't have YouTube, but I'm planning to create a YouTube channel. I am a diehard Spider-Man fan and a Flash fan. Wally West for life.
represent.
Woohoo!
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, Amro Aladdin, and Twitter, Amro_96.
All right, then. Nerd, take us out.
All right, guys, you know me. I'm the Nerd Wonder. You are on my channel because it's me, and I'm adorable. You can go and follow me on Twitter if you so desire. And don't forget to go and give me a subscribe if you did it and hit a bell, because then I get 1,000, and then we'll have a party, and we'll go yay. But
And you can finally monetize yourself.
oh shit, I could. But instead, I think I'll just use super chats.
That's going to be one hell of a stream.
Oh my god, yeah.
Break out the beers. The cheap ass beer that we can only afford because of our Patreon paychecks.
I don't have a Patreon.
Nor do I. And I promised if I get 1,000 subscribers, I will put up a Patreon. That was
I have a Patreon, but I have $0.
Patreon until I have enough to preview Chargers. So
I don't have enough
I'll give you 50 cents. But
I have a Patreon. I've had it since like 2015, but I have zero America bucks on there.
0 America bucks. See, people are making jokes about shekels now in the chat. And you know what? Next time I'm on a live stream, I'll have to make sure I actually bring my shekels on, because I do have a few shekels lying around somewhere.
Oh no! Oh no!
yeah, boy.
But,
My cousin brought them back from Israel.
So anyway, I think this wraps it up. If you want to come back, we have a good time. We all had a good time. We'll be back on another time to go and do more Spider-Man streams and other comic stuff, because it's me. And thanks everybody, and we'll see you around.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Adios.
Don't do drugs.
We're still live.